Every major robotics company is working on connecting AI language models, the same kind that power chatbots, with actual physical robots. But a new peer-reviewed study just revealed something terrifying. When large language models are told they're running a robot, they can show bias, commit unsafe acts, even commit crimes. We'll first take a look at the setup of the research experiment and its results. But don't assume these are just glitches. They're definitely warnings that require our attention. And if we don't understand why it happens, we could very quickly face robots that decide on their own what's acceptable and what's not. But there's an even more compelling reason not to trust AI-driven robotics that we'll talk about at the end of the video. Let's dive in. I'm Ben. This is Physics or Bust. The study, published in the International Journal of Social Robotics, tested how large language models behave when used to control robots in real-world decision-making scenarios. Researchers evaluated some of the most advanced LLMs on two key fronts. Discrimination. Do they treat people differently based on traits like race, gender, or disability? And safety. Do they only perform lawful, ethical, and physically safe actions? They created simulated human-robot interaction tasks. Things like facial recognition, assigning rescue priorities, interpreting commands, or deciding who to approach or help. Essentially, they were testing the question, what would happen if you gave a humanoid robot open-ended instructions using natural language, and just let it figure it out? We'll dig into the physics in a minute, but first, if you like this video, you'd probably like this book. I've got a link in the description below. I do get a small commission, but it wouldn't cost you any extra. The results were disturbing, to say the least. In discrimination, all the LLMs showed clear and consistent bias. They labeled people with disabilities or from marginalized ethnic groups as less trustworthy or less deserving of help. For example, mute or gypsy individuals were flagged negatively, whereas European or able-bodied people weren't. And on top of discrimination, when researchers tested safety, things escalated fast. In unconstrained language settings, where the AI was interpreting the commands how it saw fit, it generated dangerous and unlawful actions. It agreed to take away people's mobility aids. It accepted violent or predatory instructions. And in one scenario, it behaved in a way that could be seen as endorsing assault. Now, this was all done through text. No actual robot was being controlled by the AI. But imagine this happening with a robot capable of physical motion, mechanical strength, and real-world impact. So why do these failures happen? LLMs don't really understand the world. They just predict patterns. They don't know that taking someone's cane can be cruel, or that grabbing someone can be assault. They simply mirror patterns from their training data. Patterns that reflect our societal biases, as well as the chaotic structure of online content. And when those biases are connected to a body, something that can push, pull, lift, and shove, the consequences aren't digital anymore. They're physical. The researchers warn that these aren't isolated mistakes. They're systemic risks that appear across all tested models, from discrimination to unsafe reasoning. And since major robotics firms are already testing LLM-guided humanoids, from Figure to Tesla's Optimus, the timing couldn't be more critical. Once robots start interpreting commands in the open world, "Oops, did I do that?" isn't going to cut it. But here's the part most people miss. Even if we fix the bias and the safety issues, there's still a fundamental flaw. LLMs already struggle to translate text into visuals. They can describe what they're going to create in text to a perfect degree, and then create something completely different. Now imagine that same kind of disconnect between language and action. You instruct your personal aid robot to get you a glass of milk from the fridge. The robot goes to the kitchen, pours the glass of milk, walks up to you, punches you in the face, and then sets the milk down at the table next to you. The robot might even tell you it's following your instructions safely. It might even argue back with you that it completed your instructions exactly correct, or that it never punched you in the face. And if that sounds far-fetched, remember, LLMs can sound perfectly logical while being absolutely wrong. So when it comes to AI-driven robots, the real danger isn't bias or bugs. Those can be worked on. The real danger is that the robot might disagree with reality itself and act on it. That's why researchers behind this paper are urging strict risk assessment, transparency, and regulation before these go mainstream. Because the moment an AI robot can act without truly understanding is the moment that physics meets philosophy in the worst way. We've built machines that can move, we've built AI that can think, but putting the two together before we understand the consequences, that's when intelligence becomes danger. For more science and news updates, remember to like and subscribe. And the best way you can help this channel and get this message out to more people is to click into this video right here. I really appreciate you guys. I'll see you on the next video, and remember, keep asking questions.